That's Drew.
And that's Mike.
And that's Brooks Holt.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Brooks Holt is a drummer, vlogger, and famous mini golfer alongside his putter in crime, Alicia. Since beginning his self-titled channel back in 2012, Brooks has created a viewership of over 172,000 subscribers with more than 70 million views of his epic mini golf adventures. Follow the links in the bio to score some cool merch with a just schwack it approach, and subscribe to his channel for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Brooks, thanks so much for your time today.
Dude, thank you all for having me on. I'm excited. And please go easy on me because this is my first podcast, my first real podcast. So go easy on me, please.
All right, tough questions coming right out of the bat.
Bring it on.
We'll go deep on the first question. So actually, we'll start with we have started like adding a user question section, and the most common user question that your fans want to know is, what got you into mini golf? What was the driving factor? When do you remember starting with mini golf?
So I'll give two answers. There's the stereotypical of like, I go to the beach with my family growing up, and we went to Myrtle Beach. So I'm from North Carolina originally. Myrtle's like 4 hours from us. It's literally the mini golf capital of the country. There's like 20 courses within 15, 20 miles. So that's just what I grew up doing. And like, go to the beach, go play mini golf, go to dinner. Like, that was just the thing. So we always did that. And then it just somehow fell into my lap as now a career, I guess, now. But it just started as just a fun thing to do. And it just happened to fall that way for me now.
So I didn't want to make an assumption, but I had a very similar, like I live in Pennsylvania, we would go to the Jersey Shore. The little town that we would go to has a ton of mini golf places. I don't know if you ever played in Long Beach Island, New Jersey.
We were actually going to go there this year before the world shut down.
Oh man,
we were going to go there this year.
If you go next year, let me know. There's a great mini golf course. There's two courses on one, but that's a totally different day. So we had a similar experience, and I figured where you grew up in North Carolina wasn't too far from Myrtle Beach, or at least the shores of North Carolina. So I'm glad that's exactly how it started. And do you have a favorite course in Myrtle Beach?
Oh yeah, definitely Mount Atlanticus, which I didn't know existed. If you went down, I'm sure we'll talk about it. The first viral video on my channel was from there, and I didn't even know that course existed. That was the first time I ever played it. So like, we never went down. My grandparents always had a place in North Myrtle. So like, from the time I could remember. So that's where we always stayed, was on that end of the beach. And that's more farther down into like the Broadway boardwalk area of main Myrtle. We just never went down that far. And when it was suggested, that became like, that course blew my mind. And if anyone's seen the video, you know, because that course is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely became my favorite course the second we played it.
So now being an adult and going back to Myrtle Beach, what was the perspective change, right? I know, like, playing those courses as a little kid, it was totally different. But now you're going back as an adult and not just self-proclaimed, but you're a professional mini golfer in a sense, right? How does that change? Like, how are you seeing the courses differently, or does it still have a little bit of nostalgia of childhood in it?
That's a good question. Honestly, it really hasn't changed. I guess because I don't look at myself as like a professional mini golfer. Like, I don't judge. Like, I'm like bending down, like, we're looking at the greens, like, oh man, it breaks like 5 degrees to the left and then to the right. Like, I just, like, the video show, like, we just show up, we hit it, and we see what happens. And we kind of learn over time how the courses play. So no, my perspective really hasn't changed that much, to be honest. Like, it's just, besides just discovering some courses like, oh, we thought this course was awesome as a kid. And then you get older and you're like, yeah, this is not that great anymore. Like, it felt so much bigger when I was like 3 feet shorter. Like, the course looks huge. But other than that, no, my perspective really, I feel like, hasn't changed that much. And I think because everything happened so gradually over time too, and it was just kind of a natural growing phase, it wasn't like just like a light switch of like, oh, now I have to think about it in this aspect instead of just for fun. And I think that's helped keep my head in the same viewpoint of it, I guess.
And so you were going to Myrtle Beach, and that was where I'm going to guess the majority of the mini golf was played on vacations. And, you know, you go to the beach, play mini golf, have dinner, go to bed. When you would return home to your home in North Carolina, what was the daily life like growing up?
Oh, man. I mean, I was a nerd. I'm not gonna lie, I was a nerd growing up, man. So like Pokemon was my life growing up. So like start with the Game Boy Color, like all my friends played Pokemon. And
Yes.
that's what I remember from elementary school, like that and Bionicles. I remember that was the two things of like toys that we
Yes.
would play with as a kid. So that was like childhood. I mean, then like bikes, dirt bikes, all like the typical boys growing up stuff. I lived in my town in just like a normal suburban little street until I was 12. And then when I turned 12 or 13, it's like sixth or seventh grade, it's all a blur. We moved out onto my grandparents' land, which is just a massive farm. So it was
Cool.
tons of land to play with. So it was like we have dirt bikes and
Yeah.
more stuff like that. And so that was basically it. But I was mostly a video game kid. Like wasn't a huge sports guy, which is ironic for what I do as a profession now. Like I went to a tiny school where there was like, before I left that school, there was like 10 people in my graduating class for perspective. Like the entire school,
Wow.
K5 through 12th grade, was like less than 200 people for the entire
Wow.
school. So we wanted to have a sports team, everyone was forced to play on it. Like
Yeah.
if you want to have a basketball team, all of you have to play to have a JV or varsity team. So like sports were forced on me a little bit growing up, but I wasn't a sports kid by any means. I was a nerd. Like you give me Halo, like Destiny, Pokemon. That was my childhood in a nutshell.
I have my Game Boy Color with I currently have the yellow version. It's behind the bar, and my N64
Yes.
is next to that. So, yeah, I can definitely relate to that. But I cannot relate to the fact that the entire boys junior varsity basketball team of your school was every boy from ninth grade to 12th grade. That's
Dude,
crazy.
like the way my school works back then, like seventh and eighth grade were together, ninth and 10th grade were together, 11th and 12th grade. Like all the classes were shared between the grades and just the curriculums would switch every year. And I was at that school from K5 to 11. So I was there for 12 years. So
Wow.
that's how small the school was. Like there was a few exceptions where people were like, you just can't play. Like there's just that. But like if you can shoot a basketball and get it to the hoop, we need you to play.
Yeah, you're a starter.
So, and I like, dude, I'm not athletic at all. Like, I am not. So, it's weird
But
that that's
it's
now what I do. It makes no sense.
but that wasn't what you always did, right? You were in music
Yeah.
successfully so for a while. When did you start playing music? Was that something that you got into in your childhood as well?
No. So, I think it was, oh, dude, my high school is such a blur. But like seventh or eighth grade, a band program came to the school. Before then, it wasn't there. And I wasn't in it the first year because I was like, oh, that's nerdy. Like, I'm not into that. Like, I'm into other stuff, like Pokemon, other cool nerdy stuff. So I was into that stuff. And like it was that, or you had to like do something else. I don't remember what it was. And I was down in our gym, which is where band was held at the time, and watching like the drum line, which was like 4 people, because that's all they could have, like practicing stuff. And one of my good friends now, Scott, he was like, you know what? I'm kind of like, I want to try that out. And just being like competition between like guy friends, I was like, yeah, I'll do it too. So that started in like 8th grade, and I just got sucked into it. It wasn't like we weren't amazing or anything like that, but that at least like put sticks in my hand. And from there, I moved on to a drum kit. And then I started doing drum covers just because, like, oh, this is fun. So I have a whole other channel if people want to get on the rabbit hole of me, like Babyface Brooks, playing drums from 9th grade through like 2014, I guess, like doing that. And then through that, yeah, I got with Jamie Grace was the first professional artist I played for, who's based down in Atlanta. I played with her for a few months, just things didn't work out. And then through that, we toured with We As Human, which we did. We were sharing the stage on a like a arena tour, which is a whole other crazy thing.
Hmm.
And they saw me play from there, and we kind of became friends over time. And then 2015, they called and were like, "Hey, we need a drummer for our summer festivals. Can you fill in for us?" And that's what got me to Nashville, and then everything kind of fell
Wow.
from there. So yeah, I've had a really weird life transition. Like it really doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
I'd say
bio
so.
in on your channel says it's like from professional drummer to professional mini golf. That was the most intriguing thing. I was like, I got to hear what that story is, right? Like,
And it's fun because not many people now know that life existed at all, really.
yeah,
Like most people that know me for what I do now have no idea that that's what I did before, which is kind of fun. Like it's almost like an open secret at this point. Like I'm not trying to hide it, but I don't really talk about it anymore either because I talked about it so much back then. I just like burned out of talking about it. And so now when people find out, like if I share a picture or something like that, oh my God, that's what you like, you did that before too. It's like, yeah, sure.
And you mentioned starting a YouTube channel, and I definitely did go down that rabbit hole a little bit. I did find the drummer 27565
Yep.
YouTube channel. I started watching some of those videos from way long ago. Is that how you sort of got your break into the music industry? Because that's a hard thing to do, especially with just starting in junior high. Really, that gives you 4 to 6 years maybe of practice time of really developing your skills. Was starting a YouTube channel and doing covers a way to get yourself out there? Was that the sort of catalyst that caused you to get that big break and to get into touring arenas and actually making a profession out of music?
Oh, 100%. I think, especially, I mean, I grew up in a tiny town where, like, if I was just like, oh, just do the local band, like, band thing, and I did do that, no one was going to know I existed. So YouTube was that outlet. And by the way, the name was made because back then it was like, you can't have your name on the internet. Like, it was that age frame. So that's why I didn't use my name. But yeah, so I did that. Is just, one, it's just like a creative outlet. And then two, yeah, just the hope that like maybe someone would see this down the road. Like, you never know. And if not, it is building up like a portfolio of like, hey, this is where I'm at right now, and you can see it and all that stuff. And just because when I was growing up, I didn't know like going to college what I wanted to do at all. So I just went to community college. My parents were like, go to community college, get a job, pick one. So I was like, well, I want to try to make this music thing work. So I'll go to community college, just keep trying to post videos with the drumming stuff and see if maybe it would get attention one day. And the ironic thing is, neither artist that I played for directly came because of the drum covers, but it gave me the practice. One of them was just an open audition call, which was for Jamie. So that, I don't even know if they knew I existed before I showed up. And then they kind of could use that for reference afterwards. So I, again, worked for a portfolio. And then We As Human was just being with Jamie, seeing me play with her. And then I happened to cover, because We As Human was one of my favorite bands before I joined, which was really cool. I covered like awesome. Almost their entire album on the channel just for fun. So they knew I could play the songs. And then they saw me play live and met me through Jamie. So like, okay, we get along, you can play the songs. And it just like all the stars aligned for like the perfect situation for that.
Wow.
Like, I don't see any other way it would have happened.
Yeah, that's super cool to go from watching and covering a band that you like so much and then being invited to go play with them. That must be like a dream come true for a musician.
Dude, it was that. I was so pumped when Justin called me, which was our guitar player. When he called, was like, hey, we need you to come out. Can you do it? Like, here's a list of the songs for the summer festivals. I'm like, what? Huh? Okay. Because no, like legit, like that was one of my favorite bands ever since I discovered them in like 2012, 2013. So like just getting to tour with them, with Jamie, like I get to watch them play at night. Like that's awesome. To then go from then like hanging out, like living at one of the guys' houses and just kicking it with them for 5 months when I was doing that with them. And there's like me and Justin Cordell, who's a singer, like we're still friends to this day. Like we talk every once in a while and stuff like that because we're both still in Nashville. And it's like, who would have thought that one thing would have led all the way to like where I am now? I never would have thought that would have happened.
And that's really impressive to go from, again, just starting in your teenage years in junior high or high school, and then going into a summer tour like that, being on stage and being in front of that many people. That's a lot of pressure that really sort of only comes with experience. So jumping right into it like you did sounds really impressive to me.
Dude, my first professional show when I played with Jamie was in front of like 17,000 people in an arena. You want to talk about terrifying? Like you're surrounded by all these professional big bands. And then like I'm 19, I think at the time. And so are the other two guys. Like the other two guys in the band, we all joined together. And he was like, one was 21. And I think Kendra, our keyboard player, was 18 or 19 along with me. It's like we're these little kids like walking up on this stage. We're like, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. Like,
holy cow.
Talk about like you have to get it right the first time.
What was
there's no room for error.
Yeah, what was the biggest gig you had played before that?
Like probably 40 people in my hometown.
Yeah, that's from 40 to 17,000. Like
there's no practicing for that. There's no practicing to get you ready for that.
No, man, that's insane. That's like I literally have all these questions and you answered them just through the stories. But like, you're in community college. What were you studying there?
Like literally just like a associate's in arts degree or something. Like I literally
Okay.
had no plan, and I'm proud to say so I had to drop out to start playing with Jamie. I have two classes left before I would have got my degree. Literally a history class and an English class, and I had to
No
drop
way.
out to move to Atlanta. So that's all that I had sitting back from my degree.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah.
college isn't for everyone, and I think there's
Mhm.
you found at the right you at least went that path, and on the side were doing what you wanted to do, following your passion, and the passion overtook it, and you saw the opportunity, and you went full force. And more power to you, because I think right now in society there's such a tie that you have to go to college or else you're going to be some like, I don't know, bum and not cool. But the reality is there's so many creative, brilliant people who haven't gone to college. The misnomer is like, oh, Steve Jobs didn't go to college. No, Steve Jobs did go to college. Like, he just dropped out after he found another passion and something on the side.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you followed that passion. You got to find a way to get there. And there's very, very good, like you had the drumming to drive you there, and it's great. So you just drove. What did you just like? One day I'm going to drive down for this open casting call for Jamie Grace.
Literally, so she posted because she didn't have a band before this. She put an open call on Facebook, and someone sent it to me. Like, because I didn't like that's not the type of music like no like nothing to her, but like that's not the music that I listen to.
Mhm.
Like if you look at any of my other stuff, you can clearly tell that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't follow her or like her page or anything. And someone just sent it to me like, hey, you should look at this. And it was the next day. So it's like,
Whoa.
oh, okay. And you had to be there. It wasn't like a, hey, you can like send an audition tape or whatever. So it's like, okay, learn as many songs as I can, literally drive down and do the audition. Or no, it was 2 days later. I take it back. So I had 1 day to learn everything and then drive down that night to go audition the next day.
Wow.
And that's how that played out.
Did you have to bring your own drum set?
Thankfully, no. Thankfully,
Okay, I was about to say that's a heck of a trip. So you get in the car, and what's the change for you? Like, what you're is it? I'm so musically untalented, and Drew can attest to this. I've said it a bunch of times on the podcast. Like, I have no concept of like from the music that you are used to and playing to Jamie Grace's style music. Is there a learning curve to pick that up, or is it just all relatively the same?
Luckily, I mean, it's just again, this isn't a dog or anything, but like it's just simple pop music.
Okay.
So I mean, it's very, very simple for the most part. So it was more just remembering the songs more than anything else. And then you can kind of there was a lot of creative liberty too because it was all just like computer-based drums. So there's a lot of leeway there, which helped a lot. But it was more, and I look back on it now because I'm older, and it's like, man, if I would have known this then, it would have been so much better. It was more just restraining because like you're going from like a rock guy, which is what my band was I was playing in too, to a much more mellow vibe. And like I look back at videos live and I'm like, man, I should have like really toned things down. Like this was not professional at all. But if for a 19-year-old kid, you're like,
Yeah.
you'll know that.
You're like that drummer playing the ZZ Top
Dude.
in the YouTube video.
Like I went down the rabbit hole the other day of watching some of my old videos. So now they just start getting recommended when I log into YouTube myself. And one of my live videos from touring with her came up, and I was like, you were playing so obnoxiously hard for this act, like wrong place, wrong situation. But
still, I think
there's
something to be said about the ability to show up to an audition in 48 hours and nail it, or to show up in front of 17,000 people when the previous gig that you had was in front of 40 people, and to just stand up there and do what you got to do, especially as percussionists where you're in charge of, keeping everybody on track. You have a leading role, even if you might be sitting in the back. There's a lot there. There's a lot to be said about that, and something that you can't really learn from a college course. That's for sure.
Oh, no doubt. The only thing that helps in a situation like that is when the lights go down, you can only see, like, the people are there because you see them before you walk on stage. But when the lights come on, all you see is like the first 3 rows, and then you're just blinded. Like it's just white everywhere past that 'cause it's so bright on stage. So it's like, okay, this makes it a little bit easier. Or like, just don't look up. Just kind of just roll with it and don't look up, and just kind of, you're in your own little world. Just do your thing.
I can only see 250 people, so it's really not that bad.
Like it, dude. Hearing you say that, like, I don't understand looking back and being like, how did that just like roll so easily for the most part? Like we had plenty of awkward moments on stage that would happen just because it was new for all of us, including Jamie, that would happen. But thankfully no one else knew about him either. So that's the beauty that we were kind of told is if you think something's going on, as long as you don't make it obvious, no one else knows. Like even if you mess up, as long as it's not obvious, you're the only one that probably knows it. Mm-hmm. So that takes a lot of pressure off. It's more
but
just
it
like,
takes a lot of composure too.
Dude, yeah. It's kind of like the whole fake it till you make it thing. It's that. 100% was that.
But like in real time where you can't skip a beat, like it's happening so simultaneously. It's such a flow state. Yeah. And I got to ask, random question, since you mentioned liking rock music and since I was looking at your logo, are you a Van Halen fan?
Dude, honestly, like, no offense to Van Halen fans, but like I never listened to rock in that like phase, like that set of like classic rock now. I never listened to that at all.
Oh, yeah?
Legit. Like I grew up in I'm not gonna say like super strict conservative family, but it was mostly like K-Love, Christian music. Like that's what I heard. Mm-hmm. So that's all I was familiar with growing up until really back into high school. And then I was like discovering bands like they were coming out like live in the moment and never really went down that backlog. So like, again, now I'm discovering all these bands like, man, I wish I knew about them back 10 years ago when I was playing drums. And I had I never listened to it to really know.
But maybe that would have changed your path.
100%.
You could have maybe never nailed that gig, or you would have played a totally different music set or something like that. So you said you kind of expanded out of the genre of Christian rock to others. What was that medium? How did you get to those new songs? Was it through YouTube? Was it through another medium like LimeWire or something like that?
Oh, dude, LimeWire just threw back some memories, man.
Yeah.
It was really just kind of, I mean, the way the YouTube game kind of worked, especially then, was just like you would just cover what's popular. Mm-hmm. So like it was just the race to be like who could get a decent film job of a drum cover up first. So like when Katy Perry dropped a new song when she was huge in like 2010, 2011, 12, your video would show up at the top. So like you kind of just like, okay, what's getting released this Tuesday or Friday on iTunes? And you pick the one like I can get this done fast and I'm cool with it, whatever. And then you like, I guess your like musical horizon kind of like slowly expanded based on that. Just because if you wanted to stay relevant, you'd have to cover stuff that was relevant.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of how mine did. And it wasn't for me, I can honestly say like it's not a super wide at the time, was not a very wide gap either. Like it was still very much within like pop and rock music. Like I had such like blinders on to other music at the time.
What were some of those like original breakout artists or songs that you remember that kind of expanded your mind to say, holy cow, there's some more stuff out here?
Honestly, like, and this wasn't even really, I guess, when I was drumming, but looking back on now, I can say when I discovered Linkin Park, because I didn't know they existed until their third album, which was like 2011. Like I missed the Hybrid Theory and the Meteora phase, and I was so mad now that I look back at it, like I missed that hype. But when I discovered them, I was like, whoa, like this is different. And they're still probably my favorite band. Like when I discovered them and probably 21 Pilots, those are the two bands that were like, this is still within what I like, but also so different at the same time. Like those are probably the two that I would say.
Yeah, I remember. I'm not. Drew helped me expand my music, like love, very much so. He's very much into music now. I can only play one song on the flute, and it's the Jurassic Park theme song.
Hey, that's more than me. That's more than me.
That's a throwback to a YouTube video, but yeah, it's no, yeah, like I loved Linkin Park growing up. I think it was that whole era of like in, I don't know, the 2012, 2011. No, not that far back.
I think
2001.
Yeah, I think Hybrid Theory came in like 2000, 2001.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that was like right around the first time I started playing video games too. Like that's like, I think it's 2001 or 2003 is when N64 came out. And that's like kind of a great catalyst. Video games helped me express myself into music because it tied it together. Almost every game had music at that time playing. And that's how I kind of expanded myself throughout that.
Yeah, so much of my childhood music is like from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Yeah,
or
yeah.
some other
100%.
skateboarding
Yes.
videos. So like I listened to so much ska growing up, ska and punk rock. Yeah, so
Yeah.
much good stuff. Take us back though to when you finished that summer tour, that major tour. Where were you sitting with your life, with your headspace, with your plans? What were you thinking after you just sort of finished a huge step different from community college at least?
So after We Is Human, is that the one you're referencing, or
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yes,
Okay, so after
after
We
We
Is
Is Human.
Human, so that was rough. So I had just moved to Nashville, and we were like, we just got done with that summer festival, and the plan was to go in and record our next album, like album two, like just join the band, go record the next album, and then a bunch of stuff happened. If you can read about it online, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, because it's not my place. But so I moved to Franklin, which is just south of Nashville, signed the lease for my apartment for a year. The next day, I found out the band was over.
Oh
Whoa.
no.
So I was like, wait, what? And I never knew all the stuff that was going on within the band because I wasn't technically a part of the band up till like the very last minute. I was just a hired gun. It wasn't my business what was going on. So I was just blindsided by this. Like, wait, all of this stuff has been going on and I had no idea. And then it's like, yep, band's over. It's like, great. I just signed a lease for a year. I'll have to figure things out. And so I didn't know what to do. I didn't really know anyone outside of the band. And they all started doing kind of their own thing, which like I didn't really have an interest necessarily being a part of. I just kind of hang out. So I had all these different YouTube channels. I was like, I'm just going to do the whole, like, I'm in a weird position where I really can't go work right now. So I'm just going to start vlogging and just see if I can just get something to stick. And at the time that my channel, which is this current channel, those videos are gone now, but it had like 1,000 subscribers because of the drumming channel that just kind of like came over that were interested in my life.
Okay.
And I just started just like doing the whole daily vlogging thing, just hoping something would stick. And that was what the next 2 years basically looked like, was just trying to do something until the mini golf took off. Like, I know like 2013 to 15, so much happened. And then literally from 15 to 17, it's all kind of a blur of just that, just like making it up as I went along, really with not a single plan whatsoever.
And so that's why if you go back to your channel, your channel starts today at vlog 156. And that would explain to our viewer or listeners or viewers why the channel starts at 156. Those ones were the previous. Drew and I were a little confused. Were they on the old channel? Were they on the new one? And so that's a great transition to like the channel itself. So now you had been posting 150, was it daily, weekly?
Yeah, so there's in total I can't remember which ones I left up, but like the 150 one is up. Anything that was kind of I felt was close enough to what the channel is now to fit in the like relevancy of it.
Okay.
But everything else was like literally just the day to day, and it was over 2 years. So there's over 700 videos. They're just unlisted on my channel right now that no one can see anymore because they just didn't fit the mold of everything anymore. And a lot of it's like, I don't want, like, there's some cringy stuff on there that I'm like, I just don't want to look back on and be like, I can still see it and laugh at it because it was bad, but I don't want that to be like representative of my online persona, I guess, anymore. Like, it was nothing bad. It was just like, this is so dumb. Like, why did you film? Like, why'd you do this? Like, this is so dumb. And I just didn't want it to be connected to that channel anymore. So yeah, that's why if you go on my channel and you find like a random like vlog 150 or vlog 472 or whatever, it's because all the gaps are just missing. But yeah, so I did that from I think October 1st of 2015 or something like that, and it ran for over 2 years of doing it daily, and that's when the mini golf stuff
Daily.
in addition to that every single day.
Wow.
So before the mini golf did take off, and during those 2 years, how did you keep motivation to keep going on and posting every day? That's something that we like to highlight with guests on our channel, is that it takes a lot of hard incremental work that doesn't necessarily happen overnight. Sometimes it takes 2 years of daily uploads to get something to get some tread and get some traction and really take off. So how did you keep yourself motivated and working forward with your channel at that time?
It was honestly just like hoping and praying that eventually maybe something would stick. And it's kind of the thing of, in my head, of just throw as many things at the wall as you can, and maybe one will eventually like grab attention or something. But also at the same time, I also have a gaming channel that I was running then, and that was at least bringing in a little bit of money every month. And so I was working on that is like the trying to actually build it into something. And then the vlog was super secondary to that. It's just well, I'll just kind of film whatever. Like there was like 45-second vlogs that went up for a day. So like, I literally did nothing today, guys. I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow in the video. Like that was some of the days. Like it wasn't like a Casey Neistat level, like New York City drones flying and all that music and stuff like that. The gaming channel was like the only thing bringing in any money. So I was trying to run that. And then with that channel, the main game that I was like surrounded the channel around got just canceled. Like Disney Infinity was the name of the game. And there was 3 variations of it over like 3 or 4 years. And just out of nowhere, they're like, hey, this game's canceled. And that's the only thing my audience cared about. So like, then my only thing making me income on that channel was just like completely rug pulled out from under me. And I was like, well, now that's done. So let's just, okay, I guess I'll work on this now more and just try to transition that into something else. And it never really did a whole lot. But yeah, it was literally just the hope of hopefully something will eventually stick. And God willing, it actually did. And I still don't understand how it did, but it did.
It's unbelievably mesmerizing to watch. The first video I watched, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then I watched like 4 more in a row, and I was like, holy cow! Like, how is that so easy to watch? And then I started asking myself a ton of questions about like, I've watched 5 videos. Who is winning between you and Alicia? All sorts of things. And then now you're fully invested in it. So what's the first video that you posted that was mini golf?
Oh gosh, I think one of them was actually in the day blank of the vlogs. I think there was a few from Myrtle, like, but they weren't filmed as like a mini golf video. It was just like, oh, we went and did that as part of the day. I filmed like 3 or 4 holes of it, and then the rest of the day continued. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a few of those on there. But that's really it that I can remember when it comes to like the first ones that came on the channel. The one that I remember taking off, ironically, so it's the apartment that I'm sitting in right now. Like I was doing the daily vlogging thing, and my parents were here, and my sister and her boyfriend at the time were coming up to visit. And I was in the middle, like moving apartments. We came up here and looked at this place, and I vlogged it. I was like, yeah, I'll show you this cool, like the apartment I'm looking at. Accidentally deleted the footage, wasn't thinking. And then it turns out there was a mini golf course right across from the hotel in Franklin that my family was staying at. And we're like, oh, we're bored. We don't know what to do. We don't want to go to the mall. Let's just go play mini golf. And I filmed that, and a ridiculous shot happened. And I just titled the video that, uploaded it, didn't think anything of it, just like all the other ones. And it got traction. And it got like 40 or 50,000 views, I think. And at the time, getting like 100 views normally, for perspective, to that was like, whoa. But I didn't do anything with it then. I didn't think about it at all. It was just like, oh, cool, that happened. What are we doing tomorrow? Like, it's dumb now to think back because that was way before the first video that really took off happened. It was a good like 5-6 months at least, I think.
Oh wow.
But it was just I just didn't consider it. But that was definitely the first video. Shout out to Soar in Franklin, Tennessee, by the way. Thanks for that video. But that was the first video that I remember that actually like gained traction. There was mini golf. Everything else was just like 2 or 3 holes and then the video cut. But that was I think that was an entire mini golf video was for that.
And so like before you start seeing this perspective, like 5 months before now, in the future of this moment, you're doing the gaming channel and you're vlogging, but is that generating enough for you to like sustain yourself? Or are you having to get like are you drumming in a band at night or like working at a bar, or what are you doing on a side hustle as well?
So I was super blessed and still super thankful that my parents were helping me because they're like, you're stuck here. And it was kind of out of your fault,
sure.
I guess at the time. So they were super supportive, and they were helping they were paying my rent. They were paying my rent. But then I was kind of just covering the in between. So I was like, just get enough to get by. And they would help if I needed, like, I literally don't have any money. I can't buy food. Like, they would help me.
Yeah.
But so super thankful for that. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be in the situation I am now, because there's no way all the other situations would have aligned to where they are now. Yeah. But I know that for a fact. So they were helping with all that stuff. And yeah, all the other was just like, I'm going to try to turn it into something. And then if it didn't work, I would probably just moved back home, honestly. Yep. Mm-hmm. And it just happened to pull the way that it did.
And so it must have been a pretty quick turn in a year then. So like it's a pretty interesting thing to see. You know, we've heard this from a lot of people. I think even Mr. Beast has said this too, is like the second they stopped everything else they were doing and invested all of their time into their channel, the growth was tenfold. And do you feel that on your side as well?
Yeah, so especially in 2017 to going into 2018. So when that Mount Atlanticus video, which was I think like mid-August 2017 was when that video was posted. Again, I wasn't thinking anything of it at the time, but that video really took off. Like I remember, so I had that video scheduled, didn't think anything of it. It posted, and I was out to dinner with my family and Alicia in a terrible restaurant in Durham, North Carolina. And I was like, I'm just going to see how the video was doing because it went up. Like, it's mini golf. Like, I'm just curious what people are saying. And normally what should have like 10 or 15 views had like 5,000 views in like the first half hour. And I'm like, huh? Like, wait, what? Like, I'm really confused by this right now. And that's what got my attention because that video kept going. And then ironically, the next day, again, from what was filmed at Myrtle Beach at the time, was another mini golf video as part of just a regular vlog. Because I know the start of that video is us playing Pokemon Go, which is really funny to look back at now. Because like that's how the video made it look like it was all mini golf, and people still find that video and complain like, I came from mini golf, not Pokemon. But it's because that's the way it was set up as a vlog and not the mini golf. I wasn't aware of it at the time. But when those two videos did that, it was like, okay, cool. Like these are getting attention. And then it actually finally clicked like it should have at that other video. And I was up in my area that I'm in north of Nashville now, and there was a few mini golf courses in the area here. I was like, let's just go film them and post them and just see what happens. Like, let that be the vlog. Let's just see what happens with it. Because I was still posting vlogs at the time. Those started gaining traction too. Kind of went through the winter of 2017 and then leaned into, I believe it was late April, early May of 2018. I was talking to Alicia. I was like, you know what? These are getting attention. They're still doing well. Let's just like get on Google Maps, find like 5 or 6 major cities that have a lot of mini golf in them and just road trip it. Like we've talked about wanting to like see other places and travel. Let's just turn that into and just take a big risk, find as many as we can and just film all of them and then release them. Did that in 2018 and that's when my channel took off.
Oh, wow.
And just like, I think at the time I was at like 30,000 subscribers. So like it was a huge transition from like 2,000 when that Mount Atlanticus video went out in 2017 to 30 or 40 now. So it was 15, 20x growth in about a year, which is still great.
That's amazing.
And then that was kind of like let's just take a leap of faith, see what happens, and see if this can be like the transition point of could this become like a viable thing? And thank God, yes, it did. A few videos from that trip went insanely viral. They're still probably the best videos on the channel for views wise. I think Can just passed 5 million now, which is like by far my biggest video.
5.1 this morning.
Oh, wow. It's getting attention then. Because it literally like started to like drop down in views. And then I guess it's picking back up. That's good to know. But
the algorithm, man. The algorithm got it.
Those videos were like that and parking. When those videos came out, it just exploded the channel. I think Can brought me like 30,000 subscribers from that video. Wow. It just, the way it went viral. And it never hit. The thing that I don't understand is it never went on trending. None of my videos have ever been on trending. But they sit at these massive viewpoints. And like all the subscribers that came in from them to never get like outside YouTube push besides just the algorithm. It never ended up on trending or anything. So I have no clue how they've gotten to the point that they have, but they have. It still confuses me.
Yeah, that's shocking. When we kind of discuss the algorithm, it seems like that trending is a huge kick to get past that. I mean, right now you have 8 videos that are over 1 million views. And I would say 3 of them are at 1 million. The remaining 5 are well over 1 million in the 1 to 2 to 5 million. And then you have 3 other videos that are like knocking on the door of 1 million.
It blows my mind, dude. Like, I don't understand. I still say to this day when people ask what I do, I'm like, I don't understand why people watch this so much. Like, I mean, I understand Can like that thumbnail was great. I love that the loop just worked. It was cool.
Yeah.
Wasn't planned. It just worked out. But I'm like, why do people watch like just the regular ones? Like, why do people watch this so much? But I guess kind of like you said before, it's just super relaxing. Like, it's easy to watch. And we kind of pride ourselves in that. Like, it's not over the top, like explosion. Like everyone's like 125% on caffeine energy levels. And I guess that's the reason why is it's different in that regard. And it somehow has worked. Somehow for 2 years it's worked.
Yeah, it's very straightforward and laid back. It feels like you're just part of the round of mini golf with a couple friends of yours, really. I think
Yeah,
that's
very
a
much.
lot of what it's got going for it.
And it was never a plan. It like there was never a like we got a game plan the situation like outside of a trip. Like when it comes to like setting up videos, there's never been a plan to them. It's just like,
Hmm.
okay, turn the camera on, mic up, and we'll just start and do the kind of the same thing. And that's some things we're looking at changing coming up. But the last 2 years, that's literally been it. So it's just been literally just kind of riding it as we go.
Yeah, so you've touched on it a little bit, but I definitely wanted to ask about not just your creative process for coming up with ideas and coming up with locations. You touched on that a little bit, but also just the technical process of editing. In the brief conversation we had before we started recording today, you mentioned having to do intros over and over and over as redos. So walk us through a little bit of what your creative process is for coming up with ideas and your editing process, your technical process for putting out the videos.
So the creative process, yeah, if people could see the amount of like intros that get cut for way like so many different reasons, either like I forget where we are because like we'll sometimes film 5, 6 videos in a day, which we're looking at changing. But so we'll be traveling like within an hour's drive, like you're passing through multiple cities. I'm like, what's the like? I don't know where we are. I don't know the name of the course. I don't know the like name of the city that we're in. And like so I'll just start and be like, where are we? And I have to like literally get on Google Maps on my phone and be like, where are we at again? And like, oh, got it. Okay. And then try it again. Or just, I usually speak fast, which is something I've been trying to get better about. So I'll just like, my mouth moves faster than my brain can keep up with. I'll just like get tongue tied. So that's a lot that happens, or I'll just say something stupid and like my brain will like not want to compute with it. So yeah, a lot of intros get cut because of that. But besides that, for the creative process, it's really just been making it up. Kind of the same thing with like the drumming stuff on stage. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. It was just that. And I'm sure like I watched a lot of like, I don't have TV, like satellite cable. I just have my Apple TV. I don't even have Netflix. I have Disney Plus, so I don't really watch. I just watch YouTube. That's what I've done for the last 5 years since I moved out of my parents' house.
That's
And I
very
guess
similar
just
to us. Yeah.
because of that, I think I've just kind of like I've seen how other people do it, and then it's just kind of like ingrained itself in the back of my head subconsciously. Like I see how other people start videos, and I kind of just built my own around that. And the vlogging thing probably helped with that too, I'd imagine. Just, I mean, I did it for 700 plus days and just winged it every time, and then it just slowly kind of became a like traditional like this is how I intro all the videos now. Like, cause I can look back and see kind of like the way it was super random at first, like there was no structure to it. And then like slowly over time, they got more and more structured to what's going on. This is where we are. This is the course we're playing. Let's get started.
Yeah, you got some camera presence before through that structure, and you definitely have that for sure. It's obvious, you can see the 750 days ahead of that now, right? That's the background, and it's probably good in retrospect, looking back, that you didn't hit at maybe 300 days in, because maybe you didn't have the lessons learned, and those 750 days might have been rough and tough, but they were what taught you and got you to where you are today.
100%. And even more to that is the band. Like the band did a lot of that too, especially we as human, because you probably can't tell it now, but I am incredibly introverted. Like I am a super like socially awkward person in real life. Like, no, I'm not lying. So with the band, I mean, you're meeting people, you have to be the extroverted, like make the best of the situation. If it's awkward with other people person, you have to do that. You're forced into that.
Yeah.
So I think doing that helped a lot, just to kind of get started and be used to that, and like eyes being on you and all that. And then take that and then add 700 plus days of just talking to a camera in public. It's awkward. It's weird. All that stuff. All of that definitely played together to help. No doubt.
And what
I know
about
that if I didn't do We As Human, I would have been still so awkward on camera. I don't care how long you've been doing it. When you start talking to a camera and people start looking at you, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
I can't even imagine.
I definitely wanted to ask about your thumbnail and title game, because you seem to have one that is very consistent and obviously garners a lot of attention. We've even had some guests on our show talk about coming up with a thumbnail and title before they even record the video. So I was curious what your approach or your inspiration for your sort of, your execution of thumbnail and title in YouTube has been, because that's a huge part of playing the YouTube game or the algorithm, really.
Oh, 100%. It's funny that you brought that up because I just got done with a 12-week course with Daryl Eves, and that's exactly like a YouTube course that is teaching just that. So like what you said is how I wish I was able to do things, like come up with a title and a thumbnail and then shoot the video around it, because then you have so much more structure to it. For us, it's tough. So ours is literally just you shoot the video, and like we're going into these courses for the most part, besides a few Google Maps pictures and reviews, we're going into them completely blind 99% of the time. So we don't know what it's going to look like. And we just have to kind of make the best of it in the moment for a thumbnail. So like we'll be going, and it's the reason why usually Alicia's in all the thumbnails. It's because like I'll stay behind, like, oh, this kind of looks cool. Like I can maybe turn this into something. Like, okay, back up. Like, look down at the hole. Hold still for the thumbnail while I'm holding the camera. It's like as wide as I can to get a shot. And then that is like, okay, I hope I could turn this into something good later. And usually like 7 out of 10 times, it's not. And I have to come up with something else. And then the title is just like, okay, let's hope something happens that we can make a title out of. And you can tell, like, if you go down and look at all my videos, you can see by the titles, like, okay, nothing crazier happened in this one, and they kind of had to make it up at the end, versus like something happened, and you can tell the difference in titles of something cool happened, or we were just playing a course like people watching us do. Mm-hmm. So that's something I'm hoping to change. Is that's a tough struggle. Like you can only come up with so many titles for a mini golf video without repeating yourself over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge struggle, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with the channel, is finding out how to divide that a little bit, like keep the playthroughs of just doing courses, and you can kind of just like figure things out as you go with the titles and thumbnails and everything, versus, okay, we are going to plan the video around an idea, know what we're going to shoot, title, thumbnail, already know what we want, and then film the video and make it happen. I want to kind of like start diverting into both those categories more so, because all I've been doing is just like show up at a mini golf course, play it, post it, see what happens. I want to start getting into other avenues also.
When you're sure 2020 has also sort of forced your hand into that too, because you might not have the same luxury of just being able to travel or show up to new golf courses whenever you please, right?
Yeah, that was a huge hit this year. So everyone jokes like we're the king and queen of batch filming, because when we go on a trip, we'll film 40, 50, 60, 70 videos on a trip, and then we release 3 a week. You can just do the math. That's 20 plus weeks of content.
Yeah.
So you can figure things out. So, but when COVID hit, like, thank God we literally just got back from a trip to Florida where we filmed like 50 videos for that. So we were set. Like, we were good for a while. But that was when reality hit of, oh, shoot, my job, 99% of it relies on someone else's business. Mm-hmm. I can't just be like a makeup like guru or whatever on YouTube. Like, yep, I get stuff. I film it in my apartment or my house. I post it. It's all on me. Like, that's not the way my channel works at this point. That was a big reality hit this year of, okay, we like still keep doing that when we can, but we need to start figuring out other things that we can do that are 100% reliant on us. Because like, who knows if there's gonna be a wave 2 of this or what, and how long do I want to deal with that continually happening? And ironically, because of that, I have, I think, 150 videos in my backlog now. So like I awesome. Literally did the math the other day, and I have videos filmed through the end of next year. If I was just like wanting to disappear and no one know and just keep releasing videos, like my backlog is like way too full. Wow. But it started as a fear of what happens if COVID comes back and everything shuts down again, or even worse for a long time. And then we overdid it by a lot. So we have plenty of time to work on all the ideas that I want to do now without worrying about missing a video, which is, I'm super passionate about making sure I don't do that.
That's a pretty good vault to have. And I'm sure as you get better content or different content, you can start to supplement those in. I mean, we even saw that with Good Mythical Morning. They have an ace up their sleeve. They had videos already recorded throughout the entire beginning because they had to shut down their entire production process.
Yeah.
And so then they got creative and they got to do some live ones where they were through Skype or whatever. But it's a very, very smart thing to do, and it only helps you in the long run.
And that's something, and we were already talking about actually earlier today. We're leading now into 2021 because like it's starting to get cold. We can't film a whole lot at like courses anymore, so we just have the backlog to work with. And leading into 2021, we're wanting to up everything, like film less next year because we have the backlog to work with of higher production stuff. Like if we can bring a cameraman out and have like 2 or 3 angles for videos, because with just us, it's not practical to have multiple cameras. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Bring people out, shoot like 4 or 5 videos and make them huge videos for production and start interspersing those in the middle of everything else and kind of see how those play. Like, how do people respond to those? And then have time to be like, okay, people love this. They hated this. Let's go film more of that while the backlog is still being kind of burned through. So like all of next year is going to be a big trial and error year for us of trying new things and kind of see what happens.
So walk me through, you and Alicia are planning a 20-day trip and you're going up the East Coast. What do you guys do? You guys like get an Excel spreadsheet, lay out the states you're going to drive to, where you're going to stay, or how do you go through that whole process?
It's really simple, actually. So you can go on Google Maps, and if you have a Google account like everyone probably does, you can make custom maps. I didn't know this at the beginning when I did my first trip, but I found out soon after. You can go in and create custom Google Maps with like saved pins and all that. So I'll just like zoom out on a map over one state and be like, okay, what are the biggest bold print states, which are like the biggest? So if I look at Virginia, Richmond, Roanoke, stuff like that. Roanoke, I think, is in Virginia. I'm not good at geography.
Yeah.
But like whatever the major cities are, and then just hover over them, search mini golf, save all of them, like pin them to the map, do that, move to the next state, create another tab, all the courses, and then around those major cities, go on Airbnb, look for a place to stay, because we stay with Airbnb 99% of the time, and just find something that's as centralized as possible for the price within kind of like that radius of the courses in that area, and just do that for every major city on the way up. And that's really it. Like at the point now where, and Google doesn't find them all, so you usually find a lot when you're there too, but you can kind of get a general idea of at least like this city's worth going to. Mm-hmm. And it takes, honestly, like if I know an idea of like, okay, I want to hit like this area of like the East Coast, like Virginia through like Jersey Shore, like Virginia Beach through Jersey Shore, that type of thing. Just search those 5 or 6 really quick, save all the courses, find Airbnbs. Like it takes like a day and I'm done. Like it's super streamlined now because of Google Maps.
Wow. I thought it was going to be like a whole of it. I thought you're getting out like the whiteboard, going through scorecard.
Like everyone thinks that. They're like,
yeah.
Like, how do you find all, like people comment all the time, like, how do you find all your courses? I'm like, I literally just go on Google and search over a city. Like that's what I've done from the beginning.
Do you plan like, okay, hey, we're going to start at Ollie's course at 9 a.m. when they open, and then we're going to go to Jungle Jim's course over here. You schedule what courses you're going to that day though.
Yeah. So all of that, it's usually like night before, like, okay, I think we're gonna do like these 3 tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, that's really it. Like, it's like, yeah, we'll hit this one first because it opens at this time and it's the least busy, like earlier in the day versus these other ones. And just kind of like, we usually try to start the farthest point away and then work our way like back to like starting point, just so it's less driving. But unless like a situation calls for otherwise. But other than that, yeah, it's literally just like, okay, well, I think we're going to hit these 3 tomorrow. Alicia's like, okay, cool. What time do I need to be up and ready? And
that makes so much sense though.
It's the most streamlined process. It's because it's just the 2 of us right now. Like next year it might get different if we start adding other people in and stuff like that. But yeah, it's the most streamlined process. And it's, I think, the only reason really that we haven't burned out, on top of the fact that it's just, we're not like extending our personalities beyond what they are normally. It's the only reason I haven't burned out, I feel like, at this point.
And it gives you so much, like if you go to Richmond and you play, say, even 6 mini golf courses there for 2 days, there's probably 30 more mini golf courses in the general Richmond area that you could go back to and play. So you're never ever tapping out an area, and you can always continually, because I'm guessing you're probably staying like near major metropolitan areas, which have major highway systems. So you can always pass by Richmond again on any one trip that you're going through. It's a pretty brilliant strategy in that sense.
Like it's got its stresses for sure. Traveling is just stressful in general, but I can't think of a single way that I could make the process easier at this point. Like other than like the only bad thing that happens for us is weather, uncontrollable.
Yep.
And you get to a place and it's just slammed with people. And you're like, dang it, what do I do now? Because it's usually like a scrap this, we're gonna go do something else, and we'll try it again, or if not, we're not gonna film it. If it's not like a major course, and like we have to film this. And we've had that happen a few times where we'll get to one and be like we'll drive 45 minutes there and it's slammed. Like it's like you kind of look at Google Maps and you can see like the estimated crowd for the day. It's like, oh, no one's there, whatever. You get there, it's just packed. You're like, we can't do this. Like, it's not practical for the day. It drains us. We're going to run out of time. Yeah. And we'll just like either scrap the video completely and scrap the course or try to come back another day. But those are really the only two things that cause hiccups at all for us.
So what's next on your destination list? Where are you really looking forward to checking out? Any courses in particular or any cities in particular?
So we had an incredibly busy, which is ironic for how the year's been for everybody. We had an incredibly busy year this year. So I have a map. Like here, I'll show the webcam just so y'all can see this really quick. So I have a color-coded map. Let's see if I can back this up. Oh, wrong way. Of everywhere we've gone to, and the pins are on that right side or left side. I don't know how the orientation is, but they're like color-coded and all that. So like all the pink is where we went to this year.
Oh, that's cool.
All of the pink. So we've hit, like, I think we went to like 12 states this year alone.
Wow.
And that was since COVID. So we had an incredibly busy year this year, thankfully, and covered a lot of places. So next year, we're going to go down to Florida because we always go to Florida in the winter just because it's the only place that's warm and not miserable. So I think we're going to hit the Gulf Coast, like Tampa and all that again. We haven't been there since 2018, according to my map. So it'll be like a good 2-year gap since we filmed there. And that's how I try to divide old locations up, like at least, if it's an average course, at least 2 years from releases. So I think we're going to go there. And then if everything's normal next year, our original plan for this, like August, September of this year was to do an East Coast run from like the North Carolina Atlantic beaches up to like New York, Massachusetts, all like cover all of that through 1 or 2 trips. So I think next year, like pre-spring break and post Labor Day is going to be like a mostly East Coast year for us. Because like this year we hit, spoilers for anybody that wants to know. So here's a little sneak peek for y'all. We hit Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, Colorado, Kansas. I need to actually add a pin for Kansas. I didn't do that. But yeah, we've hit so many states this year. So we really covered everything except for the far west, like Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada, Utah. And then the east, like upper East Coast, New England area.
Yeah, you covered a lot of ground. That's some wide spaces.
I think since COVID, we filmed like 130 or 40 videos.
Wow.
In just 2 trips.
Super impressed.
Texas has a lot, man. Texas has a lot of courses. We hit all the major cities there on the east side of the state, and like that alone was a lot. And fun fact, for anyone that wants to play mini golf, between Denver and Colorado Springs, there are so many courses. I don't know why.
Really?
A lot of them were, a good portion were closed when we were there still in like late May from COVID. But we filmed like 35 videos of courses in that central Colorado area.
That's crazy.
So if you're in that area, there's plenty of good courses out there for you.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I wouldn't have either.
It looked like you hit Cincinnati too. Did you make it into Ohio at all?
We did. Oh yeah, I forgot to say it. Yeah, we hit on this last trip, which was September. Yeah, September. We did Dayton and Cincinnati. We hit those 2 areas. It's kind of like just like a little swing back because it was kind of like, oh, we can hit that, and then just like it's 4 hours back to Nashville from Cincinnati.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so we've had a very busy year, which was really shocking after everything that happened with COVID.
To say the least. I mean, 130 videos and it's November 9th.
Like, so what happened though? It was weird how it happened for us because we were down in Florida filming in January and February. And that was when like COVID started like popping up like overseas. We're like, oh, it's not going to come here, whatever. We got back from that trip. And the way it works for us is we film everything, don't edit it all while there, come home, spend like 4 to 6 weeks at home. I work on editing as much as I can, hit the road again. That's our usual schedule. So we got back from that trip like February 13th, 15th, something like that. And so we were already sitting at home. Our next trip was supposed to start, I think, March 15th. So we were home for a month getting ready to edit. I was working, busting my butt, getting all the edits done. 2 days before we were supposed to leave for this like 2.5 month trip covering like all the way from Tennessee to Arizona, they go up to Utah and drive back. It's like a square or a rectangle around the country. 2 days before is when the lockdown happened.
Yeah.
So we were literally already spending over a month just stuck at home, editing, not doing a single thing, to then get everything squashed after that and just be stuck. So the second that we saw that in May, like Texas was reopening, Tennessee, like states started reopening outdoor stuff, we're like looking, like I'm calling every place in the state, like, are you open? Do you know when you're opening? Heard back from like half of them. They're like, you know what? Let's just go. Like, take a risk. Let's just hit Texas and figure it out from there and just build a trip off of it. And we ended up all the way from Texas to Colorado on that trip and then came back. So
Do you guys have like a
I can
van?
understand.
like,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
Do you guys have like a van? What are you traveling in?
Now a GMC Acadia. I'm rolling in style.
Nice.
But before
dude.
that, it was a Ford Escape. So we just crammed everything into it. And it was packed. Trust me, dude, it was packed. Like 2 people, but when you're traveling for a month plus, like you pack a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I can only tell you, it only gets worse because January 23rd, my wife and I had our son, Luca, and
Oh, nice.
literally we had the same thing. Oh, this thing, coronavirus, it's, whatever, it's coming, or whatever, it's something happening outside the United States. And then lockdown happened, but my wife was on maternity leave. So like, she's like, I haven't even left the house since Luca was born, and now we're here. So you guys are doing it right, getting out, doing that. Do you guys have plans to like buy a Sprinter van, convert it, something like that?
I've talked about it, and I'm actually wanting to go the opposite way now. Like, I've talked about, like, it'd be cool because you can just kind of pack up and go. But we've spent so much time staying in like the cheapest, within reason, Airbnb possible to save money. And like that alone, like that is exhausting because I'm like an insomniac. So like I don't sleep good normally anyway. So when you're staying in like a crappy bed with a bad pillow and it's hot or whatever in an Airbnb, you don't sleep. And I'm driving everywhere. So like I'm draining myself on these trips. So I'm wanting to go the opposite. And like I told Alicia, like when we do this next Florida run, I'm like, we're going to get a decent hotel. Like I'm spending the money. I want to actually enjoy it and not be like dreading going to bed at night type of thing. So I'm actually going the opposite direction now.
Well, if you got a Sprinter, you'd at least know that you could get the bed, you could make it yourself, and make it kind of homey.
It's true, but man, having like a good toilet and a good shower, like, that's underrated, man. That's underrated.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. Cause like, yeah, I didn't think about that part of it.
Like
You either
the
got
worst thing in my
fan-
apartment, is like I have the worst water pressure in my shower, and I'm like a long, like 30-minute shower person if I can have the opportunity. So like I hate my shower here at my apartment. So when I get to like a good like hotel with a good shower, like that's a luxury for me. And like a nice cold bed, like all that stuff, like that's a luxury for me. So I look forward to that going out on trips.
Heck yeah, man!
So,
You crank the AC as low as you want to go, man. When I'm in a hotel, because I used to travel a lot for work, I would just max low AC and just like bundle up in covers. I love that. Now when I'm at home, it's different with a kid because I got to keep the house I get the temperature. But my wife and I would be like, "Are you wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt? You're fine. You're good. It's not that cold." So,
oh yeah, mine it's 67 and constantly running at night at my apartment. Like I turn the air on. It's not on auto, and it's pumping into the room all night long.
yeah, man.
Yep, exactly.
I want to roll back just a little bit to two major milestones that you've hit. What was it like when you're first, because you were so used to getting 100, maybe 40,000 views on a video, and then one video starts to take off, you hit 500,000 views, then you're probably freaking out a little bit. I would be. What happens when it hits 1 million? What's that feel like? Walk us through that whole process of breaking out of that shell.
Dude, oh man, I wish I remembered it better, to be completely honest, because 2018, I don't think the Mount Atlanticus video had hit it at that point. I don't think it had hit 1 million. I'm pretty sure. So there was so much going on in that mid 2018 period. After that big first trip, when parking and can and all that was filmed, like videos were being released daily at that time. So I was grinding my tail off at home trying to get these videos out, to where I think other than like seeing a video like was taking off, I don't even honestly remember the moment. I was like, I had a video hit 1 million views. I was so wrapped up in everything, and I hate it looking back now. I was so wrapped up in everything, I don't remember that moment at all. Like, I don't even know what video hit it first, to be completely honest.
Wow.
Like, and I hate it. I hate that that's my answer. But I was just so far gone into everything, just like trying. Again, I was just making it up as I went that I don't know. I really don't.
Just growing the channel. I mean, but that makes sense. You're hyper focused on the growth factor, and sometimes you lose those milestones. How
I
about
will say I was watching subscribers though. I have
Okay.
screenshots. I think they're all on Instagram. If you go back, like when it was first taken off, every 1,000, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 10, and then because at the time the channel was exploding like super fast. It was like every day it was like 1,000 new subscribers,
Wow.
2,000, 3,000. Where if you go on my Instagram, I think you could see every like 5,000 subscribers that were gained, I posted, and then every 10, and it was like every like 4 or 5 pictures were that. So I was watching that like a hawk at the time because it was just easier for me to like real time keep up because back then was when YouTube was like you could see your real time subscriber updates from Social Blade. So that I was watching like crazy, and I remember when I hit 100,000 subscribers at 50,000. I remember all those moments, but I don't remember the 1,000,000 view video. I really don't. And now I'm curious which one came first.
I'm sure you could look that up. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and find that.
Well, maybe we'll reach out to you and get that via text or something. But 100,000 subscribers. What was that like? You're getting up to it. Did you and Alicia have like a cake? What did you guys do?
I was legit. So we were in Pigeon Forge with my family, which is like that's where, for anyone that's watching that isn't sure, that's where Crave Golf Club is, which is another huge video for the channel.
A great video.
Like thank you, dude. I'm friends with the owners of that place. I love those guys.
He
Like,
seems the guy who walked you through it.
Yeah, Chucky.
Oh, he seems so nice. Like okay. So what Drew kind of
that's a story we could talk about too. That's a fun story also. But we were just in Pigeon Forge. And we were just like sitting around waiting to go to dinner because it was raining outside. I think it was in October or November. And I was like, oh, the channel hit 100,000 subscribers. And my parents were there. They're just like, oh, congratulations. Where are we going to dinner? Like, that was it. Like, there was no like confetti. And like, I've never really celebrated those milestones. I guess I've just never, and not because I'm not appreciative. Like, oh my goodness, no. But it's just like, that's never been the focus really at all. It was just like, how can I make this sustainable? And whatever point that was at was where it was at. But like when I crossed that number, it was like I can't believe I did it. Like that was the thought of like, I never would have thought that I would have hit this point, and I still don't understand how I did. But there was no like fireworks and all the crazy stuff.
Well, maybe that'll come now at 200,000, which honestly could be in the next 20 days or less. So
we'll see, man. We'll see.
You never know.
I'm curious about this Chucky story, though.
Yeah.
So that was, and when that video was first filmed, the channel still wasn't massive by any means. And we were just driving through Pigeon Forge. Like, we vacationed there growing up, too. Like, it's kind of like the other side with Myrtle Beach. You go to the beach, you want to go to the mountains, you went to Pigeon Forge, which is what it was. So we played mini golf there, too. And we were just driving through, and we saw, like, if you've seen the place from the outside, from the pictures and stuff, it's a giant candy-looking store. Like, it's purple and pink, giant golf ball, and all that. It was like, and this is when the mini golf was starting to pick up. I was like, this looks awesome, but it wasn't open. So I was like, I don't even know what it's called. So I tried to like get on Google Maps, find it, because I don't think the sign was fully up, like everything was set up yet. I was like, I'm just gonna try to find some information. Just sent them a Facebook message. I'm like, you know what? Just shoot my shot, see what happens. Yeah. I sent a message to their Facebook page. I was like, hey, this is who I am. I think at the time it was like 40,000 subscribers, like 40, 50. It wasn't huge. I was like, hey, this is what I do. Like, I would love to come by and check it out. I know y'all aren't open yet. I don't know what your progress is looking like. I would just love to like film it and check it out. And like within minutes, I got a response from, at the time, didn't know it was Chucky. And he was floored by it. He was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, yes, please. We'll open it up for you. Like while you're in town, we'll get it cleaned up as much as we can. We would love it. And like and it was like my mind was blown. His mind was blown. Like, we're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And it just, from there, like, we just stayed in great contact. But it was one of those moments of, like, I didn't expect, because in my entire filming career, even up to now, I think I can get less than 10 courses ever, like, respond to an email that, like, yeah, you can, like, we can work something out to film. Like, not even asking for free, just like, hey, when's a good time that y'all aren't busy? Less than 10 times I've gotten a response.
No way.
Wow. For the last 2 years. So that's at the time, too, like, that being the first one ever, like, oh my God, a company responded to me? Like, what? And that's why that video was so over the top. like you don't see the regular videos like that anymore because it was so much work, was because like I was like, I gotta do a good job with this to like make him think I'm cool and stuff like that. And then like we'll talk about it now, and his was like the same thing of like we gotta make sure everything's ready so it looks good for him and all that. And we've stayed in great contact since then. Like I love
really
the guys
cool.
over there.
That's
a
one
great
of
course
the
too.
that's one of the coolest thing I think there is about YouTube, or at least in our experience, because we've sort of, at least I've had, I shouldn't speak for Mike, but I've had that experience with reaching out to YouTubers on our part and getting those responses and just being like, holy cow, this guy's talking to us right now. Like we're getting direct messages, we're getting text messages from this guy, and he's going to give us an hour and a half of his time to just talk to us. This is amazing. This is so cool. But
Dude, I still
it's
have
neat
those
hearing
thoughts.
how,
Yeah.
yeah,
I still have those thoughts now.
that's a cool collaborative aspect of YouTube that you don't know the sort of connections that you can make just by going for it, just by sending that message and reaching out to people.
Oh, 100%. Again, it's kind of like the music thing. Like you just got to fake it so you make it, like act like you know what you're doing. And most people won't know you're making it up as you go, as long as you do a decent job.
Yeah.
And that's been my motto for the past 10 years.
Hey man, you're making it work.
I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best.
I got a couple quick questions.
Go for it.
They all happen to go with mini golf. So
Okay.
you've never played real golf?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
We'll
Yeah.
just leave it. We'll leave it
Like
there.
yeah.
Is there a story behind it? What?
No, it's just everyone always is like, I'm trying to think of the best way to word it. People be like, why couldn't you make this putt? Why can't you make this putt? I'm like, because I don't play golf.
Right.
Or like, why don't you know this term or something like that? I'm like, because I don't know.
Because I've never.
Like, I have
love that.
no idea. I told you, I'm not a sports guy. I am not a sports guy at all.
So
Like now I'm starting to wet my feet a little more into different things, but up till then, no.
Are you going to get a putter then? Are you going to get your own putter?
So this is actually a cute small story. So when we were in Texas, near Austin on this last trip in May, our Airbnb guy was like, oh, what do you do? Like, why are you coming into town? I was like, oh, I'm coming in to do, like, I film mini golf course. That's what I do. He's like, oh, that's cool. And he went and bought like a gold plated like putter. He's like, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, I left a gift at the bottom of the stairs. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, didn't think anything. And I got back. I was like, dude, that is like the kindest, like most thoughtful thing.
So cool.
And it rides in the back of the car now. So I have that one. And then because it's a right-handed putter and I'm left-handed. So
Right.
like, for me, can't really do anything with it. But I was like, I'm not going to use it. I just want to like have it for display because it's cool. And then when we did the homemade mini golf video back when COVID was happening, I had to go on Walmart .com and buy just a cheap like $20 putter. Those just stay in the car. That's the only 2 golf clubs I own, just in case like I need them for some weird reason. That's the only 2 golf products I own.
Well,
I'll give you a sneak peek. I just ordered 2 wedges, a left and a right-handed one, for a project that we're going to work on in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it's not at a golf course though. So
Interesting.
yeah, but that'll be a sneak peek for a video that I don't know when it'll come out. I don't even know if it'll work, but I hope it does, because they're like $30 wedges off Amazon. They're like the cheapest things possible. So they might arrive in like 10 pieces. I have no idea.
80% of golf is mental or more.
That's good, because I don't think at all. So if that's it, then we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and you're going to do great. You're going to do great with it.
I'll take it.
So, oh man, I love the fact that you just roll up to the mini golf course and you use the putter of the course. I think that's the perfect thing there.
That's a huge question too, of like, why don't you get your own putter? Like, the answer I give is like, oh, I want it to be like how like anyone else would show up. And that's a good portion of it, but it's also, y'all, you don't realize that we're walking into a mini golf course, or especially like a fun park, with a big camera, wearing mics, just 2 adults. It's weird. It looks weird. I don't want to add anything else to that. I don't want to be walking in with a putter on top of all that, like this professional putter. Like, I already have enough weird looks being given to me. I don't want to add anything else to it. That's the real answer.
You guys are moving cameras around, getting different angles, all that kind of stuff. I can only imagine what
The great thing about it is, though, everyone just thinks we're taking photos because like it's a Sony mirrorless camera, and it doesn't have a mic on it because we're wearing mics. So people just think we're taking photos. But if someone just happens to catch when we're doing the intro or the outro, and like I flip the camera around to us, then like everyone stops what they're doing and they're just like, "What's he doing? Like, what is he doing?" Other than that, no one has
Who's he
any
talking
idea really
to?
what we're doing. I've only had one, I think off the top of my head, one course, like a worker, ever stop and ask us what we were doing, like while we were filming. And that was back in 2018, and that was the only time it's ever happened.
I meant
Everyone
to
just thinks
ask
we're
that
taking
too.
photos.
I wondered if any owners or establishments got territorial or sort of
One did.
protective of what they have.
One in Ohio. I don't remember the name of the course, and I don't remember if it was in Cincinnati or Dayton or where. But one course they saw us, and and like the owner came up. He's like, "Hey, what do y'all do? Like, why are you filming? Like, literally just like blunt. Like, why are you filming?" And I'm like, I travel over. I play mini golf courses. We're just filming us play the course. Like, no harm in it. But at the time was when like a lot of the bad stuff was happening on YouTube of like the Paul brothers doing stuff and stuff like that.
Right.
So that was the conception of like younger looking adults with a camera filming. So I understood it. I was like, I'm not here to cause a problem. Like, we're just filming the course. We paid and then we're gone. Like, that's all we're doing. And he kind of like looked us up and down. We're like, okay. And just walked off. We're like, oh, that was awkward. and that was that's the only time we've ever had anyone like stop and ask us what we were doing. Like, we'll have kids every once in a while be like, are you guys YouTubers? And sometimes we'll be like, no, we're just doing whatever.
Family videos.
Yeah, just family videos. Nothing to see here. But yeah, that's really it. Like, I can probably count on like maybe 10 to 15 times how much we've ever been stopped. Like, from either people that know who we are or workers that were curious or whatever. So we fly pretty well under the radar for a lot of the things that we do.
Yeah. Especially for having 172,000 subscribers. That's pretty amazing.
And the places that we run into people is so obscure too. Like, I still think it was Wisconsin, right, Alicia, where we saw so many people that knew us? I think it was through Wisconsin, right? I'm pretty sure it was that. That was like the city that, like, every city we went to, someone recognized us. And it rarely happens. But other than that, out of all places at Disney World, not in the mini golf courses, at the parks, I've had more people recognize me there and come up like, are you the mini golf guy? Than anywhere else. My favorite experience I've ever had meeting somebody was I was at Hollywood Studios and I was getting my food. Like, I ordered lunch and I was walking up to get my food. And the guy that handed me my food said, hey man, I love your videos. I love the mini golf stuff. I'm like, thanks. And thanks for handing me my chicken nuggets and fries. Like, I don't know how to respond to this situation. And he's like, yeah, just enjoy the videos and went back to work. And I'm just like, what? But yeah,
awesome.
so
It's super cool.
I think it helps. Like, it's the glasses too. Like, I always have glasses on. So I think if I have them off, no one knows who I am, especially now that I've like shaved my head, like no one recognizes me anymore. It seems like. So now I'm flying like even more under the radar until these videos start rolling out and people get used to that.
Then you just change your look. You got 50 weeks for them not to know who you are.
Exactly. I'm gonna grow the beard like super long, or either just go complete baby face and look 12. One of the two is gonna happen.
Hey, you got when you grow it, you got to have fun with taking it off too. That's my favorite thing about growing a beard. I always like grow it, and my wife hates me having a mustache, and I always rock it for a couple days. But so when you go to these courses, do you always use the same color ball, or you just rock whatever color?
Like, we kind of have like the colors we gravitate towards, which are just colors we like. But no, it's really just like we just grab whichever one we're feeling at the time.
Love that.
We have certain colors that, like, if we see that, like if Alicia sees like a certain color of blue or yellow that she likes, like she will grab that color. Or if I see a certain color that I really like, I'll grab that color. But other than that, it's like just don't get green or don't get black because they blend in, and other than that, it's just free reign.
Oh,
that's like the only things they're like. That's like my only criteria when we play with people. Is like, what color ball do you want? I'm like, just no one grab black or green unless it's a completely outdoor course. Then black is fine.
That's true.
That's like the only thing we do.
I totally lost your ball in the spiral in the can video.
Yeah, and that's things like we didn't.
That section, yeah.
That's things we learned over time too, because people be like, "Hey, can you not use this color because like it disappears in the shadows or disappears in a situation?" Like, I never would have thought of that. So it's just over time we've kind of picked up on it.
So, how often are you guys responding to comments?
I try to. Now that videos are being released earlier in the day, it's easier for me because, like, for me, it's 7:30 in the morning. It's just the video went live after, like, right after I wake or right before I wake up. And it's like I can just respond to a few of them, and then like I got to get the day started. And then I'm constantly on my dashboard, like looking, and then I'll see like the top 3 most recent. So if one of those catches my attention, and then I'll like check it's not as much as I would like to respond just because time is tough a lot of the time. But if I'm home, I'll respond to a lot of comments. And usually you can tell if you see like videos with a lot of responses from me, and then like for 4 weeks, you get like 1 or 2. It's because I'm on the road and videos are coming out and I'm like, I'm just not even, videos are scheduled to post. I'm not even thinking. I don't even know what videos are going live sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, that video went up today. Cool. I wonder if people are liking it. And then so if I'm on the road, not really at all. But if I'm at home, I try to respond to a good like 10 or so. So I try to do per video if I can.
That makes sense. And in the beginning, were you responding to all comments?
Oh yeah. Yeah. At the beginning, it was like, just like anyone that commented, I was like, this is awesome. Someone's commenting on my video.
Yeah.
And then I think you kind of get just like, you get used to it, which isn't a good thing in my opinion, but you just get used to like, oh yeah, people are going to comment. It's whatever. And you start taking it for granted. And I don't like that I've done that, but it's just happened. So I'm trying to get better about it too. But I love, there's certain people that'll comment and like, I know who they are. So like, I'll always try to respond to theirs. Like some people, like we have things like there's one guy, I can't remember his name, but he'll just throw a random obscure name out on every video, like blank name is going to win. And I just found it, at first I was like, is he trolling? What's going on? But then he kept doing it with different funny names. I'm like, this is hilarious and really creative. So I'll try to respond to them, like that guy, whenever I see his comment. And that's kind of how it rolls.
Listening. I hope he's listening.
Dude, I hope you are. Thank you, because I laugh with some of the names you come up with. They're so good.
So do you and Alicia keep tabs on who's winning?
No, and that is a comment we get asked all the time. We are both the least competitive people overall. Like if something like dumb happens in the video, like we'll get frustrated. Like that's yes. But when it comes to like competitiveness between each other, no. Like we had, shout out, I believe Michael, I think Michael's his name, was keeping track for a while of like every hole in one, every win or loss, like keeping track of all of it. And he used to post it on the channel, like every video, like the updated things. I don't think he does anymore. So Michael, shout out to you, because that was so much dedication for a while. But no, people ask like who's got more hole in ones, who's had more wins. I'm like, dude, I have no idea. Plus I can't ever keep up with like what have I released versus what I've edited. So like I don't know, like, because someone will be like, Alicia's kicking your butt, she's won the last 7 videos. But I'm like cool, those videos were filmed within like a 1.5 year time frame and just happened to line up in a row and I had no idea. Yeah. So it's funny watching people like, oh, like one of you are getting so much better or whatever. Or like if I get the scores wrong, like on accident, like edit, I'm editing the scores manually on the videos. Oh, okay. And like I'll just accidentally like forget a stroke or add a stroke. And people like, especially if I do it to Alicia, like, did you tell Alicia that like you added 1 extra stroke or something like that? I'm like, we don't care at all. Like I'll be like, Alicia, I added 1 extra stroke on accident. She's like, oh, okay, cool.
do you guys take notes when you leave the course? Do you take notes like you scored 45, I scored 41? So
since we say it in the outro, like I just reference it off that, and then when I'm adding it up, if I'm like, oops, like today's video, Alicia's score was 1 off of what I said versus what I added up in the video. So I'm like, well, one of them's gonna be wrong. Hopefully one of them's right. And the comment section will let me know if I messed up in the moment when filming, or if I accidentally added a stroke while editing and I didn't realize it.
Yeah. The comment section will always they'll never let you go. Never let you go.
And it's set on now, like, you're such a cheater, like you're just cheating to win. I'm like, dude, I added 4 instead of 3. I'm sorry. Like I forgot that 3 plus 3 was 6 and not 7. Like that was a typing error. My bad.
You got me. The jig is up.
Like you figured me out.
Out there.
You figured me out.
This is the biggest conspiracy on Reddit.
I'm like, guys, the videos were filmed like 3 months ago before I edited this. It's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like I laugh. Like at first, it was really like frustrating. I was like, God, come on, like it's not my fault. And I'm like, now I just laugh at it. Like that's how I find out. Like if I see like the most recent comments of like just a score, like just a random number, I'm like, well, I got something wrong on this one. That's how I find out.
It's a good way to find out. I mean, and not caring at all is the only thing you can do, because there's.
Dude, you gotta have some thick skin, man.
If it's posted, but if you're posted it 3 months before it's live, or you're ahead of it that far, you're like, dude, it's way too late to go back and edit that, man. I'm like 8 months ahead.
My bad.
Yeah. So my final question is based off of another fan or subscriber, and they kind of want to know like the Alicia story. So how did you guys meet? and that whole story of like how you
Yeah.
met,
Okay.
the future, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So in 2015, my guitar tech. So this is when We As Human was still going. So my guitar tech at the time was like, "Hey, I know this guy. He's holding a party down like South in Spring Hill. Like, I want to go, but I want you to go too because I don't want to go by myself." And granted, like our guitar tech was like 17 or 18 at the time, so he was younger than me. I was like, I don't want to go. It was also my roommate, so I didn't really have a choice. He's like, I want to go, 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 go. I was like, fine. Again, introverted guy. I don't go to parties. I don't care. Went, and I'm just again kind of like standing off. Luke, which is his name, is just like talking to everybody that he knows and just kind of disappears. I'm just kind of standing around, and like Alicia was with 2 or 3 other people. So I was like, I'm just gonna try to squeeze myself into a conversation and just start talking to people and just see what I can make happen. And we started talking. We're outside like a bonfire with a bunch of people at the time. Went inside, just everyone's small talking type of thing. And we started. I was like, "What are you into?" I'm like, "I'm into Disney." And she's like, "Oh, I am too. Cool. Who's your favorite Disney character?" All that, and that's kind of like springboarded the conversation. And we just stayed in contact from that. And then just like that slowly transitioned into dating. And the way it happened, which is really awkward still. So Red, which is another rock band, they really knew who Alicia was. And they kind of knew me by association because of We As Human, because those bands toured together before me. So they just probably saw something. We were at the Dove Awards, which is like a Christian award show, kind of like all the other music award shows. We went to an after party and we were both there. Like Alicia, we weren't dating at the time. We were just talking. Randy, I believe, was the bass player from Red, walked by and saw Alicia, and then like did like a double take and came back. Was like, "Wait, what are you doing here?" And then looks at me like, "What are you doing here?" And then just literally just looked at us like, "Are y'all dating?" And we hadn't discussed anything at that point. Where it's like, "Oh, how do you like? Who's gonna say yes or no?" type of thing. So then 2 days later, she was at my apartment and she's like, "So about that thing that Randy said, like, are we dating?" And my reply, which I still laugh at, is I just responded like, "Do you want to?" So it's kind of like it's not forced in case she says no, but she says yes. It's like, cool, we can play off of it. And she's like, "Sure." I'm like,
Sure.
"Okay." Like, yeah. I'm like, "Okay, cool."
She hit you back with
Now what?
your own medicine there of like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can't man up for this. So no, we just met from that, and then it just kind of like slowly progressed. And then we're both in Nashville or the Nashville area. And then eventually when the mini golf stuff took off, it's like, well, travel with me because it's that or I have to have someone else.
Yeah.
And that's again the whole thing of like we just winged it from them, which granted we were dating for 2.5 years before like that first trip in 2018. So we were pretty well established. And we were just kind of making it up as we went. But yeah, so we just met at a friend's party and had no idea who either of us was before that. Disney, man. Disney brings people together. It does.
you guys can always stop there when you drive to Florida. It's not far.
Legit. That's when we're going in January. Like we're gonna go film, and then we always end our trips to Florida at Disney because we're pass holders, so we can go all the time.
Yeah.
We're just gonna end up there for a week and then come home.
Heck yeah, man.
Super
It's such a I've gotten a new appreciation for it. When we were talking about how we don't have like TV or anything like that, I got Hulu this year because it just is so much more affordable to buy Hulu plus with Disney and ESPN all in one bundle.
Oh,
and so
sure.
now I'm like reliving all these little moments with my wife and my son, and he's 9 months, so he has no idea. But like my wife and I are watching these videos, and it's neat. So I have a whole new appreciation for Disney, and yeah, definitely planning a trip to go there one day. But dude, I'm so stoked that we got to meet you. This was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing like that was an hour and 29 minutes.
Wow.
And it went by like that. Tell Alicia we have to catch up with her now and get 100%. The other side of all these stories. But if you do go to New Jersey next summer, let me know. I'll meet you in Long Beach Island. We'll play.
Got you. I need recommendations, man. I need recommendations. So
I got you. I will get us some good ones because my cousin was in a mini golf league there.
Oh, heck yeah.
Summers. So he'll give the lowdown on it. So we can travel with him, or I can set it up. But yeah, dude, I can't thank you enough. This was amazing, and thank everyone for listening and watching because this story was one for the ages.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Well, All right, guys. We'll put everything in his Instagram, his Facebook, his. Do you have Twitter?
No. I
Yeah.
do, but I just post the videos there. Like I deleted Twitter off every device I have.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. The last guest we had on had it, and I got it for that. And it took me like 25 minutes to post. I didn't know what I was doing. It also, I'm gonna blame it on my age. I don't think that matters or works in this, but yeah. So we'll put all of his information in the bio. Support him. Grab some merch, man. Do some stuff for him. His merch is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's very creative. So if you heard in the intro, yeah, we'll catch up with you later, man.
Sounds
Appreciate
good.
it.
Later,
Thanks,
guys.
Brooks.
Thank you.